The Great White Throne Judgment. A day where every human since Adam and Eve will be together. Every mama, every daddy, every daughter, every son, every auntie, every uncle, every cousin will be there. Revelation 20:11-15.
And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
This judgment is the last event before the final separation. It is in the last event in human history, before the new heaven and the new earth is introduced. All the dead, great and small, rich and poor, all the dead that died without Christ will be in the courtroom of God. Regardless of how long a person has lived, or where or when they lived, they will be there. The God that this world despises, the God that this world rejects, the God that this world claims does not exist, will be the judge on this day. All of mankind will stand before his holy courtroom. Those who have never believed in God will be there. Those who have mocked God will be there. Those who have lived their lives in a way as if God doesn't exist at all will be there, in the court of God. We know the courtrooms of this world. A defendant stands on trial. The evidence against him is presented, and according to that evidence, the jury makes a verdict whether the man is guilty or innocent. The courts of this world make mistakes. They do. Sometimes guilty people are found innocent, and sometimes the innocent are found guilty. I remember reading an article of a man who was released from prison after serving 45 years. Over 4 decades of this man's life was spent incarcerated. He went in there as a young man and came out an old man for a crime he did not commit. The courts of this world make mistakes. They do. Sometimes guilty people are found innocent, and sometimes the innocent are found guilty. In God's court, on this last day, there will be no mistake. It will be a just judgment, because the judge himself is just God, who knows all. No thought has ever escaped him. No word has ever gone unheard. No action has ever gone unseen. Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Don't play with God. Don't ever play games with God. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Ecclesiastes 12:14. For God will bring every work into judgment, including every secret thing, whether good or evil. There are people who are living godless and evil lives. They have rejected Christ. They have rejected salvation in order for them to live evil lives. But there is a God who is watching and witnessing their lives. You cannot live a life of evil, breaking up marriages, sowing discord, lying, cheating others, backstabbing and betraying people, and expect not to be judged. God will one day judge you. Don't play with God. Don't ever play games with God. God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. The children of God will be judged at the judgment seat of Christ. 2 Corinthians 5:10, King James Version. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. At this judgment seat, only Christians will be judged, and this is to receive the rewards for the things they have done. The works you have done for Christ will be weighed. All the things you have done will be checked, and you will be rewarded accordingly. These people are not the ones that will go to hell. It is Jesus that will judge these people, and the reason for this judgment is to give rewards. No one from here will be thrown into the lake of fire. 1 Corinthians 3:13 through to 15. Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. If any man's work abides which he hath built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. If any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he shall be saved, yet so as by fire. If your work as a Christian is tested and got burned, you will not receive the reward, but you will be saved. That is what Jesus will do at his judgment seat. Matthew 5:19. Whosoever, therefore, shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. The second judgment, which we are talking about, is the great white throne, and only unbelievers, sinners, those who are not with God will be judged here. Imagine a father watching his child get judged at the great white throne, and they couldn't do anything. The truth is, there will be regrets on that day. A son will ask a father why he didn't take church more seriously. Each day you live, you need to know the reality that if you profess Christ, your life is a testimony of those around you. It is a testimony of the goodness of God, and the way you live your life could bring others to Christ, could bring your children, your wife to Christ, your husband to Christ. But you still want to have a casual Christian lifestyle, and in all honesty, you could very well go to heaven. I am not the one who determines whether you are saved or not. But what about those around? Those that would have taken salvation and Christ more seriously if you did. Maybe if you attend every Friday prayer meeting, your child might one day look at you and your devotion to God and wonder, maybe there is something more to this Christian life, and they might be saved. Maybe your brother or sister may look and say, maybe there is something more to this Christian life, and they might be saved. At the great white throne, those who are just churchgoers, those who have the form of holiness but deny the power thereof, those who rejected salvation, all of these people will regret their actions. Here, at the great white throne, there are no good rewards. No one will be welcomed as a faithful servant. These are the people who have not allowed grace to wipe away their sins, those who have not called on Christ to forgive them and clean their records to start new. John said that a book was opened, and some other books were opened. These books have records of the things they have done. None of these things has been cleared, because they did not seek after salvation and seek forgiveness. Have you imagined how the fear of God will be all over the place, that no one will be able to look at his face? I honestly believe that on this day, we will see a side of God that we have never seen before. Look at Revelation 20:11. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. Look at this phrase, whose face the earth and heaven fled away. That is the judge, the great creator, the Alpha and Omega, El Shaddai, Elohim, Adonai, Abba, El Elyon, God Almighty, the mighty Creator, who is from everlasting to everlasting, who knows no beginning and knows no end. He will be the judge on this day.